Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Today I'm taking a look at the expansion to Azul Summer Pavilion. This is Glazed Pavilion expansion. In this skinny little box, you are going to be getting plastic overlays to keep all of the tiles in place, and you are going to be getting two new boards, one double-sided board for each player, and a new double-sided central board that holds the bonus tiles and the scoring markers for the players. This is very similar to what they did for the original Azul here, where they came out with an expansion that did the same thing. It gave you plastic overlays, and it gave you new boards for the players, okay? So we're going to go ahead and show you what's in here, talk a little bit about what I think of it, and I'm even going to compare it to the ones that came in here, because there are some significant differences that I have some thoughts about. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. The first thing you get for the base game, just as you did in the expansion to the original Azul, is a set of overlays. So you're going to be putting these over your player boards to keep all the tiles in place, and that works very nicely. And then one for the central board, which works a little less nicely. It still works just fine. It is dual layered, so there's a bottom plastic on this one, okay, that will catch this top level, so that'll stay put. But unfortunately, the one little issue, it's not a big deal, but the one little issue is they've replaced the scoring markers from the original game, these little cylinders, with cubes, and they don't fit on here as well as I would like. One fits just fine, and it really does stay put. That's very good. Unfortunately, if you are sharing spaces, the spaces are a little small for two of them to fit that comfortably, and at the beginning of the game, everybody is stacked on 5. So it gets a little bit tricky. I had everybody kind of, I took it around the office and told everybody, here, all these start on 5, go ahead. And it certainly is just a little more finicky than I would like it to be. You can do it, but these could have been slightly bigger, and it would have solved that problem. But again, that's a minor issue. The overlays here, if that's what you're getting the game for, and I suspect a lot of people are getting the, the expansion. I suspect a lot of people are getting the expansion for these overlays. They're good. If you've seen the first one and that expansion, then you know what you're getting and you're going to be satisfied with that. But let's talk about the game content, the new boards, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these, set them aside, so that we can take a look at the boards, and I will pull out the original ones so I can compare them. Because my main issue here is I feel these new boards aren't as distinct and exciting as the expansion that we had for the original Azul. And I'll show you that briefly as well. So let's take a look at the originals, all right? So here's the original board with the original suggested starting side and the original central board right here. There's predetermined colors, and then the center has no predetermined colors, but no color can repeat. And they have the values going up from 1 all the way to 6, okay? On the other side of this one, you've got no predetermined colors. They each have to be a full color, but you could even repeat one. So this could be fully orange, and this could be fully orange. And then the center, again, no color can repeat, and the values for those, or the cost, is 3 for each of the center ones. On the new board, you get something very similar. So starting spaces here. This one is comparable to this one. Same colors on the outside. Now the difference being in the center, the colors are predetermined for you with the same costs going up from 1 to 6. And then there is a new fountain out here. As you surrounded these fountains, you would earn bonus tiles. Well, they have a new fountain on the outsides here. And when you get all 4 of them that are next to it, 1, 2, 3, 4, or say for this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, then you earn 1 bonus token from the center. That is on the reminder for that is over here on the central board. This is the original reminder with getting 1, 2, and 3 for those pieces and being surrounded. Now the new one reminds you down here that you also get 1 for those new fountain features on the outside. Again, it just feels very minor. The other side of this, to match this side, is, once again, very similar. No colors on the outside and predetermined colors on the inside, with all of them, again, being had 3. So not a lot going on here as far as patterns, as far as new interesting ideas. So I find these a little bit flat. A couple of other things I need to talk about here. New bonuses, and I'll leave this up. So the new board, this new central board, has 2 sides to match the colors of this one. This is the orange side, with the details being in orange and a little orange glow here to let you know that. And then on the other side, purple, with the purple highlight on this one. So those two have to be played with each other, and they need to match. So let's start with this one, the sort of simpler side. Besides what I already talked about, the only other thing that is different here is, well, the order of when tiles are wild based on the rounds. That's got to be different, but that's very simple change. Just mix those up. And then down here, there's a new bonus for having one of each of the fountains or features surrounded. You're going to get 15 points for that. And if you do it again with a new set, that's another 15 points. It does mean at the end of the game you have to go around your board and go, well, okay, I put these 2 here, so I completed that one. These 4 are in place, so I completed that one. And then I surrounded this statue, and I surrounded this fountain. Okay, that's one suite of them. Did I do it again? Well, let me see. I already counted that one. So it's fine. It's not that exciting. On the other side, and all the bonuses and everything stays the same. On the other side, this bonus down here will change. Where when you complete all the 3s, you're going to get 18 points. Because all of these are 3s and they count those on this side, okay? And then having the bonuses for the fountains gets dropped to 12. So the math gets messed with a little bit. But again, it's they feel very similar to the original included boards in the game. As a comparison point, let me show you what they did with the Azul boards, the first released Azul boards. These are the original Azul boards. This is the original one, which had all the colors predetermined for you. And then this side, which had none of the colors predetermined for you. Great, that was it, okay? And the new ones gave you this, that had some of the colors predetermined for you. And so you couldn't mess around with where you put repeats. You had to be careful about that. And then they changed the bonuses down here to go from 2 points for a row, 7 for a column, 10 for getting 5 of the same color, to 3, 10, and 12 respectively. And then on the back, these bonuses stay the same, but they have spots that when you score them, you get double the amount of points you would normally get, and those predetermined colors. So growing these spaces before you scored that one would net you a whole bunch of points, because you score as many as there are in the row and column. So that feels more distinct to me, and they feel more splashy, like fun, crazy, kooky kind of powers than the new ones feel for stained for the third release in the Azul line. So for this one here, the Pavilion. So that's kind of how I feel about these. Let me go ahead and finalize my thoughts up top and tell you who I think this might be good for. There you go. That is the expansion to Summer Pavilion, Glazed Pavilion. As I said in the overview, and I think you gathered this, and by the way, I'm not doing a complete breakdown here with all my bonuses on the screen or anything, the talking points. Don't need it for this. I like this just fine, and I think it's good for folks that want those plastic overlays. If that is the main reason why you're purchasing this, maybe you have the original Azul, you bought that expansion, you just love the plastic overlays, I think you're going to be very content with this expansion. The plastic overlays are neat. They're well made. They do keep everything in place. Except for the scoring marker bit, which I do think that should have been an easy fix. Besides that, it's great. They're neat. They keep everything where you want it to stay. They look good. I got no problem with those. My main drawback then, and it's not a huge drawback, but it is one, is that the new boards just don't feel that interesting. Or at least not any more interesting, really, than the ones included. which is not to say not interesting, because I'm a fan of the game. I do like this Azul. I think it's a solid, engaging game. But these feel like tiny little lateral moves from the original, whereas I think the expansion for the original Azul felt more engaging and felt like, ooh, they're trying new stuff with the boards they're including in this one. I like that. And I like playing with those when I want to mix it up. In this one, it doesn't quite feel like I'm mixing it up. It just feels like these could have been the originals and I wouldn't really know it. None of the things in it make my brain go, I need to think about this in a different way. The way I tackle this now needs to be adjusted because I got to get those big ×2 scoring, really pull ahead. I got to do something marvelous in order to crush the competition. They feel samey. So that's my main issue there. So ultimately, if you are getting this for the overlays, I say go ahead and grab them. I think you're going to enjoy them, especially, again, if you have prior experience with the overlays that they make. And they're going to satisfy you. It's going to be exactly what you want. If you're looking at this and thinking more on the game play side of things, like the overlays are nice, sure, but what's it adding new to the game? I don't know if this is going to be enough to re-spark your excitement in Azul Summer Pavilion. So for that reason, I'm settling here at a 6. What's in there is good, okay? It's just not a great expansion. I think the one for the original Azul was a better expansion than this one. So 6 out of 10, not bad. Certainly wouldn't recommend you not get it, but just think about why you're getting it, and then that'll help affect your decision, hopefully. So there you go. Azul Glazed Pavilion expansion, everybody. Thanks for checking this out with me. I appreciate it. My name is Z Garcia, and I'm going to see you on the next one.